2001, 4 coordinated terrorist attacks were carried out by Al-Qaeda, an Islamist extremist group, on the Twin Towers at the World Trade Center in New York and on the Pentagon in Virginia. The attacks killed 2,977 people from 90 nations. 2,753 people were killed in New York, 184 people were killed at the Pentagon, and 40 were killed on Flight 93. Tomorrow is the anniversary, and there will be an event in New York as a way of remembering the dead. And the song, I Was There, will be part of that event. Guys are with me to explain how it happened. That is Darren Parry, Steve Balsamo, and Lee Gilbert. Gentlemen, welcome.
Hello, Lynn. How are you?
Lynn. Thanks for having us, Lynn.
I don't think we've ever had this much talent in this studio, all in one go. It's fantastic. Darren, we will hear the song in a bit, but please tell us, first of all, how it came to be written.
Gosh, it's a bit of a long story, Lynn, but
I love a long story, Darren.
How long have we got?
Oh, plenty of time.
I'll try and summarise it. Yeah, basically, we are 3 of the 4 members of the Grand Cru. Our 4th member, Bonnie Skop, is in Florida, so she couldn't make it today, I'm afraid.
Oh.
The trains weren't running from Florida.
It's bad from Florida, isn't it?
And she was approached probably about 6 months ago now by somebody she knows in the National Guard to write...
Now, the National Guard in America?
The National Guard in the United States, yeah.
Right.
They've got a sort of subsidiary company called EANGUS, which stands for Enlisted Association of the National Guard of the United States, which is a mouthful.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Bonnie was approached by them to basically write and record and release an album to raise funds for veterans and people who've fallen on hard times from the National Guard. So we kind of had 6 of the songs ready to go anyway, which we've written over the last 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
And we wrote 2 brand new songs, including I Was There, which I think you're going to play later.
We certainly are.
Very kind of you. Yeah, we've written 2 brand new songs pretty quickly, really. We had to sort of get it done within the last 6-7 weeks, really. So we've written, recorded, and done a music video in 6-7 weeks for 2 brand new songs, which is written especially for the cause.
So you not only wrote it together, but you also perform it together with Steve and Lee. Do you usually collaborate in that way?
We have...
This is Lee.
Yeah, sorry, this is Lee. We've done, I think... So we did the 6 songs, didn't we? So we wrote them all together. But as songwriters, we never really intended for all of the songs to be recorded by us, per se. They could be recorded by anybody. They could be...
You could get proper people to do it.
Proper people, good singers to do it.
No, fair enough.
So we've recorded the songs, and so one of us has taken a lead on, on whichever one, and then the rest of us have gone on, we've done harmonies and background vocals and that. So, yeah, so the last 2 years or so, we've definitely done stuff together, and it was through some songs that we did early on that Bonnie promoted us to friends of hers in the National Guard, and they'd heard a couple of them, and we really like this. Could you make one specifically for us? So that's what we've done.
Did that worry you?
I think it's a very, very big topic, and it's something that we had to take very, very seriously because we're not American. We don't have that trait in us. But But I think what we came up with though is actually perfect, and they agreed that it's great for their need and what they need to do with this. So.
Now, as you say, Darren, you came together, you're collectively the Grand Cru, and Cru is spelled C-R-U. Now, isn't that for posh champagnes, a Grand Cru?
Yeah, do you want to mention a bit of that?
Well, it's a couple of reasons, really, isn't it?
There's a couple of reasons.
It's a great name, and it has a couple of meanings, obviously.
Yes. So basically, Bonnie Skop, when we met her first, Bonnie actually owns a wine company.
She's my kind of girl. Tell me more.
She's got a wine company, and the charity arm of her company, Toast to Humanity, that's the part that's releasing this song. But obviously, when we were chatting on Zoom maybe 2 years ago, we needed a little name for everything that was being produced. So Steve works does a lot of work for the Grand in Swansea Grand.
Yeah.
Obviously, Cru, we're a bit of a crew, so we just thought the Grand Cru with the champagne element would.
Fantastic.
Because we're top-class people.
Like a mature wine.
And we are very mature.
Very mature.
No, I'm not going to say anything. This is a good job, this radio. Are you all mates? Did you all know one another?
We've known each other for a long time, Lynn. We've all sung together various gigs down the years. and I really loved the boys' company. And it was during lockdown where a lot of creative endeavours kind of came about on Zoom and on WhatsApp. So we kind of got together, started writing some songs just to do something, you know. As songwriters, we were trying to respond to what was going on in the world and trying to distill what was happening into music or art. So we just love each other's company. We have a great laugh, which is the main thing, I think, these days. There's so much that's really needed.
We need to thank Radio Wales a little bit as well, don't we, actually, for getting together, because individually we were all friends of Chris Need's late night show.
Oh, fabulous.
So if ever we had any new music coming up, we would all be asked to come in and chat to Chris. But Chris did a lot of charity concerts as well.
That's right.
Yes, he did.
And we were all asked to do one particular one at Swansea Grand. Yeah. And I think that night was one where we got together, actually, and we said, we should do some stuff. And it was before, obviously, a year before Chris had passed. But and then when Chris did pass, we got together and we did a song especially for him.
Fantastic. Oh,
yeah,
Chris
so
Needs.
Radio
That's
Wales.
good to mention him again.
Yeah, we
Fantastic.
got to keep Chris alive. He was such a great ambassador for music and arts in Wales.
Definitely.
Undoubtedly. Now, Steve, what's this link with 9/11? As you say, it came about because of Bonnie, but it's a major New York kind of event, and it's going to be a big deal. I don't mean to frighten you, but this is a big deal.
Yeah, I think, again, as artists and songwriters and musicians, we try to respond and try to write stuff. And as Lee said, we're not American, and maybe we could have a different perspective on it.
Did you have misgivings, though?
Absolutely. We didn't think we could do it. When we were asked to do it, we were like, it's not for us. But then, again, we threw a few ideas together and a few lyrics started to emerge, and then a story started to emerge about three characters whose lives, and they're based on true stories as well, so whose lives were affected in various ways in the song. But I was in New York the day before. I was signed to Sony Records and they took me out. I met this artist called Mark Anthony, a big singer. Yeah. And I went to see him perform in Times Square. And I remember calling home and speaking to the family saying, I've got a funny feeling. And I remember it was a very hot day, but I remember thinking something's going on here. And I flew out and then it happened the next day. And I had friends, my cousins live in New Jersey and worked in Manhattan. I had a friend, Mark Ray, who was out there at the time. And, people I know have lost family members to this, the terrible events of the day. So with all that, we try to filter all that in when we're recording. We think we've recorded something that's very true to what we do and also tells a story in a very kind of human way and a very humble way, I think.
You have introduced it for me beautifully. Thank you.
She kissed the kid, said she's leaving. Took the train just like any Tuesday. Said we'll have fun at the weekend, but the weekend never came. With sky as blue as the ocean, not a cloud in sight as he's boarding 842 to Frisco, but it never did arrive. Do you remember where you were on the day they stopped the world? When I close my eyes, I see it all so clear. Do you remember what was said? Remember all the tears you shed? After all these years, the heartache we'll still share. Well, I was there. I was there.
Little Johnny is playing paper planes in a taxi to school. His mama's clock didn't wake her, just as well he's late today. Do you remember where you were
on the day that stopped the world. When I close my eyes, I see it all so clear. Do you remember how you felt? Remember all the tears you shed? After all these years, the heartache we still share. Well, I was there. I was there. I was there. I was there on that morning when it came without warning. From the ashes we rise with new strength. Whoa. Do you remember where you were on the day that stopped the world? When I close my eyes, I see it all so clear. Do you remember how you felt? Remember all the tears you shed? After all these years, the heartache we still share. Well, I was there. I was there. I was there. I was there. I was there.
That's Grand Cru. I was there, and they are Darren, Parry, Steve Balsamo, Lee Gilbert. They are in the studio with me. Are you happy with that, fellas?
Yeah, I think it sounds great. It's one of my favourite things I've been involved with, to be honest, Lynn, in all the years I've been doing music. It's come together beautifully. It's produced by a guy called Andrew Griffiths from Astragunlais, and he's a secret weapon. And we were talking just off air there. We've basically gone in and stole all Mal Pope's musicians.
He's tamping about it. He's tamping.
He's on the phone.
He's very annoyed. How did you write it? I think we say the process. How does your process work?
I think we do a lot of our stuff on WhatsApp Messenger. You know, we send little ideas. When we work with Bonnie, sometimes on Zoom, isn't it?
Yeah. I think this one started on Zoom, didn't it? We got the little bits of the stories down. We all kind of worked on what we liked and what would work. And I think we were thinking of visuals as well at the time.
So we threw some concepts around, and, you know, as you heard in the song, it focuses on 3 different characters. You know, a guy going to on a flight, on a vacation somewhere, one were going to work, a child who was late for school. And we thought that was like a human aspect to it. But originally, I think it was you, Steve, who came up with a little guitar riff melody. You put it into your phone and sent it as a little noodle, as we call it. Little noodle.
Noodling about.
Little noodle on WhatsApp. I got my keyboard out and sort of did a little piano riff. And I think it happened pretty quickly, really. I think within about a week, we'd kind of had it nailed down.
Yeah.
But
Bonnie had some input as well, didn't she? Bonnie
yes,
was,
of course,
with the
lyrics-wise. So it's probably me and Steve who do most of the melodies and things, and it's probably Lee and Bonnie who contribute more to lyrics. But, you know, we're a good team, and we have to take our hats off to Andrew Griffiths, though, for his production on that. You know, all the orchestral things. It sounds...
it does sound great.
It brought our little
it's a big
noodles.
sound, isn't it? The noodles that worked
brought
out
our
in the
noodles
end.
to life.
It would just be a guitar and a scratchy vocal.
No, terrible old rubbish. No, it's fantastic. Now, as we were saying, if you just joined us, this is commemorating those affected by 9/11 in America. And this is going to be performed tomorrow in New York.
It's 9/11 it is, so
9/11, so
it's confusing for us because the Americans do the date the other way around. So it's Wednesday, I believe.
So it's on the 11th.
It's the 11th of September,
And so what's going to happen tomorrow? Sorry. I mean on the actual
on the event.
On the event. Sorry.
On the event.
Sorry.
So basically, we've got the One World Trade Center, which replaced the Twin Towers. They've got a big remembrance gala there, and as Lee said, It's the first time anybody's had an event in the One World Trade Center on 9/11.
Actually, on the date.
On the date, yes. So they've got Kelsey Grammer hosting it, I believe.
From Frasier.
From Frasier, yeah. They're going to have a big dinner and like a cocktail reception, and they're going to show the video, which was finished yesterday.
And it's up online for anybody to go and watch
certainly
it. And it was
is.
filmed at the beautiful Grand Theatre in Swansea.
It's very moody. And,
Yeah.
but not that, but affecting. It's affecting. That's what.
And
it
again,
is.
we were in, and our friend Reese and Nathan filmed it. Reese from a company called Furball Films. I do a lot of work with him, and we had lots of conversations about we couldn't make it too on the nose, and it had to be, subtle and it, we didn't want to go too far with it. And because we're not American, we didn't know how far to go.
No.
But we took some steers from Bonnie in America and Jeff, who runs the organisation.
Yeah, so Bonnie will actually be at the event. Bonnie's going to be there representing us, and then we are doing a kind of live from the UK link to the people there, and then they'll play the video because we can't physically be there, sadly. So they'll get to see it early on in the evening, and then they'll do whatever they do to raise all their millions for
I'm sure
for
they
the
will.
charity. Yeah.
So all of the proceeds go to that charity for the National Guard.
100%, yeah.
National Guard. But you have the album. You're doing the album and everything. So what else is coming out? What else are we going to see from you guys?
Just continue to write songs, really. As Steve said, we love spending time together. Just write and record new songs.
Exactly. With things like this, you never know where it's going to go, because I think we definitely need to go over to America soon, because that's where Bonnie's based, and we are getting some requests to go and do some things. So hopefully, if one of the plans was we were going to go over and do a little series of shows as three singers. So if we can get that together next year, because we've got some links of little places that we can sing over there. All these songs we could do anywhere, but obviously we're going to keep on writing, and then because we enjoy it, really.
Yeah, it's
we're
good
going to
fun.
keep on going, and we're going to be the oldest boy band in the world.
You're a man band.
Man band.
You're a
Yeah,
man band.
What are we called, Darren?
Well, we've had Westlife. We are called Afterlife. What do you think, Lynn?
You know what? That flies for me. That totally flies for me. It's working. So basically what you're telling me, you've got nothing else to do, so you're going to hang out together.
Yeah, that's it, pretty much.
And keep going.
Saying that, we're all very busy individually.
I've got
doing
no
various things.
doubt.
It's crazy. But as I said, we have so much fun, and as you can see, and it's just great. And creating any art these days, when the world is so shaky, it's always put a bit of love into it, really.
Yes.
Now, before we actually came on air, I said to you, well, why are we so good at the singing here in Wales? And I said, I'm worried because we're very good at the harmonising in chapel, but fewer and fewer people are going to chapel. But you came up with a perfect answer, didn't you, Steve?
Well, I think we sing so well because it's literally in our voice. I think as we speak, we're very sing-songy as we speak. I'm working with lots of young people doing songwriting sessions with a thing called Future Blood, run out of Pontardawe Arts Centre and Swansea Grand Theatre, with a guy called Rich there. And we're seeing some incredible new talent coming through. Swansea, I've got to speak about Swansea, sorry fellas.
Okay.
But
The heart of Cardiff.
Yeah.
I know it could get messy.
Watch out.
But Swansea has always been like a hotbed for art and music especially. And we've got the arena down there now, as well as the Grand Theatre, and loads of other venues around Swansea. They're all speaking to each other for the first time. There's a place called the Bunkhouse, and the guy who runs that is really brilliant at promoting new bands and allowing the young people to promote their stuff. So music, certainly from Swansea, is the best I think it's ever been.
But it's the Eisteddfods as well, isn't it?
You were saying
Oh, definitely. I think the Eisteddfod and the Eisteddfods, we just finished the National Eisteddfod in Pontypridd. It did wonders for the town. And it was brilliant to see so many schools and young people singing the way they do, and just the Welsh language just being continued the way it is. I think it's wonderful. And I think he's right. That it's in our blood. It's in our chests, like you said. When the miners come up from the mines, you need to expel all this air.
And they used to go to chapel, as you say, and they used to sing on a Sunday
and learned and in the rugby. That's where a lot of the hymns were.
Get more than
sang.
two of us together, we start singing. don't we?
Absolutely.
And I think we
choir.
got the best national anthem.
And we've got the best flag as
And
well.
the best flag.
Absolutely.
Definitely the best
Okay,
flag.
But I
this
tell
is
you,
a lovely now.
we don't tell people we're great. We have a problem saying how great we are as a nation. So I think hopefully the next generations, and I keep telling these young people I'm working with, just be confident in your ability and just start telling people.
This is a call to arms. Right.
Absolutely.
I'll follow you anywhere, guys.
Come on.
You should write a song.
You should write a song, definitely. I have been speaking to Darren, Parry, Steve Balsamo and Lee Gilbert. They are the grand crew in so many ways. The song is I Was There. And good luck with it. And I hope it raises lots of money for it.
Can I just mention where
course you can.
they can get it, Lynn?
Yes,
before we go?
please.
There's only one place they can find it at the moment. It's not on Spotify or Amazon or anything at the moment. The website is toast2humanity.com. So all one word, two as in T-O, toast2humanity.com. Go onto that website and they can buy the whole album or they can just buy individual songs. But yeah, Toast to Humanity.
But also come follow us on any socials and all the links.
It's all there,
It's
isn't
all
it?
there.
It's been great having any time you guys want to come in.
Next Sunday?
You're on.